Keep going.
Run! Get inside now!
Mom, look! What the hell's going on?
Well, I am back with the reviews. I haven't did a review kind of on my fingers, and I don't know how long. But I went down to one of the local movie theaters and decided to watch The End of Oak Street. I got a warning saying this movie was woke, and I'm like, nah, y'all just say everything is woke these days. And I was on the bus of saying everything was woke about 6 years ago. But I said, let me take a gander at this movie. And so I did. And ladies and gentlemen, whoo, man, what was this movie? Spoiler alert. So if you have not seen this movie yet, what are you still doing here? Go somewhere. If you don't want to see this movie, you already seen this movie, well, stick around. So, let us begin. I'm not going to go through the whole entire movie, but what the hell was it? See, I was enticed by the use of dinosaurs when I first saw the trailer. I was like, alright, dinosaurs. Let's see if this movie can be better than the last few Jurassic Parks. Well, the dinosaurs were cool. That part was cool, even though some of the dinosaurs starting to look the same. And they did use feathers for some of the dinosaurs. And it was one scene, I think it might have been an Allosaurus, when the Allosaurus sneak attack the family in this movie. It's very cool, because usually when we go back to Jurassic Park movies, when you know the T-Rex is coming, you will hear footsteps and water shaking and all kinds of other stuff. No, not this movie. But the part that bothered me the most of this movie is not so much the dinosaurs. Some of the plot and some of the, nah, ain't even some, I can't even say some. Most of the characters bothered me. The plot, okay, I get the premise. Teleportation and solar flares, whatever, teleport this whole neighborhood to the age of the dinosaurs. Fine, cool concept. Now the family has to find a way to survive in this new environment that they found themselves in. And I guess this takes place in Michigan somewhere. I don't know if this town is real or not, but I also found out that this was actually filmed in Atlanta, Georgia, which made sense because I was like, this looks familiar. This neighborhood does not look like a Michigan neighborhood. This looks like either some eastern United States neighborhood or even a southern neighborhood. And I was right, southern Atlanta suburbs. But that's not the point. The concept was cool, but the execution, somewhat cool until the end. But the characters was the biggest problem for me. And this is why I was seeing some other people saying it was woke. And they was probably right. Woke meaning Anne Hathaway's character. I guess she's an author. Or striving to be an author. I don't know what her initial job was. It could have been housewife. Trying to be an author. But late in the movie, Ewan McGregor's character, the father in the movie, found out that most of her books are circled around her having romanticizing her leaving her family. And I guess being for the streets. Being a city girl. Which causes some conflict between the two. And I guess in the beginning of the movie, you kind of get pieces and tastes of the conflict between the wife and husband in this movie. Between the kids. With their dialogue. I guess Ewan McGregor, that's a tongue twister. Ewan McGregor's character, I guess, was let go from his job and in the background, or without his wife knowing, was selling pizzas to make ends meet. I don't know what his job was. They didn't say unless I missed that part. But in the end, I guess some of the parts was great. It did show a little fear of the dinosaurs. Like, I get it. If you gotta think about it, put yourself in this situation. All of a sudden your neighborhood is teleported to a land of the dinosaurs, and you gotta survive. You got dinosaurs breaking into your house, trying to eat your pets, trying to eat you. For some reason, all these idiots in this neighborhood decide to keep going outside, despite being Allosaurus and Spinosaurus and feather raptors all over the place, but they kept going outside anyway, like a bunch of dumbasses. But that's neither here or there. It was a funny part in this movie, dealing with Ewan McGregor. I'm not gonna spoil the movie too much, but it was quite funny. But this movie, plot-wise and all serve a purpose. And its purpose was serving Anne Hathaway's character. It all made Anne Hathaway's character brilliant and made her seem like she was the top dog. For most of the movie, she did seem like she was the top dog. It looked like they put Ewan McGregor's character in a box, like being a beta male almost. Like she snapped on her neighbor in the beginning of the movie because the neighbor was getting tired of the dog chewing up stuff and tearing up stuff. And she said that her husband was being too nice. That's one point right there I didn't like. Making the father and the man of the house seem like a bitch. Second, she was romanticizing leaving the family. Some of these housewives want to leave the family and live that city girl life. Third, midway in this movie, she lost all her writing, all her novel ideas due to a flood in the basement, thanks to them teleporting to the age of the dinosaurs, which all serves, like I said, to a purpose at the end. And for some weird reason, this movie was rushed towards the end. All of a sudden, the way to solve everything was to find a teleportation bubble that would send everybody back, I guess, 20 minutes before the whole neighborhood disappeared. And I guess Anne Hathaway's character is considered to be the hero, mainly because she told everybody that, oh, get out of the neighborhood before the teleportation begins and you get sent to the age of dinosaurs. So now you got duplicates. What is up with this whole multiverse timeline crap that people got going on? So now the movie goes from dinosaurs to dimensional travel and time travel and all kinds of stuff. And Anne Hathaway character is deemed a hero. She writes a book on it. She becomes the man of the house. The family moves into a new house. They have a party at the end. The dinosaurs, I guess, quarantine. The area where they keep teleporting is quarantine. The end. That was the basis of the movie, pretty much. And I'm like, every character in the movie was annoying. Anne Hathaway character was annoying. Ewan McGregor's character was a pushover. The kids were annoying. The kids don't listen. Kids crying all the time, which I get, but it's just like after a while, I'm getting tired of hearing that crying. The best character in this entire movie was not the humans, not even the dinosaurs. It was the family dog, Starbuck. That was the best character in the movie. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a pet owner now. I have an old American Bulldog myself. Right? I have a little sweet spot for dogs now. Yes, I have a sweet spot for dogs now. So I wanted the dog to survive. I've been devastated. The dog would have been eaten by one of the dinosaurs like Jurassic Park 2 Lost World. I've been devastated. But the dog survived. That's the only creature in this whole entire movie I wanted to survive was the dog. The dog wasn't annoying. You know, it kept getting away, but the dog was annoying. But there are some reference points to Jurassic Park movies in this movie. One being a big old pile of poop in the backyard. If you remember that scene with Jeff Goldblum in the first one, that's one big pile of shit. Dinosaurs And dogs is another one. For some reason they had some eel like anaconda in this movie. They just wanted to put that in there, I guess. Titan boa. But I guess you could say this whole movie is a callback to both Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park Dominion. Yeah, that garbage ass movie. Because if you remember Dominion, dinosaurs are basically roaming free on Earth with humans. Based on what happened in the previous film in Fallen Kingdom. And Lost World, of course, you had the T-Rex rampage in San Diego. So there's some callbacks in this movie. There's probably some more I don't remember off the top of my head, but there was a lot of callbacks to Jurassic Park. R.I.P. to Sam Neill. But so one thing I found out before this movie started, it's a bad robot production. So J.J. Abrams' name is attached to it. And I know he always deep down wanted to put his input in a Jurassic Park movie somewhere. And I guess the director was the director of It Follows. And a sequel is coming out next year to It Follows called, I think, They Follows. So be on the lookout for that after 10 years. What did I give this movie? A C. I give this movie a C. And just Anne Hathaway's character just bothered me. It did. After her performance in The Odyssey, which was fine, to go to this movie, it just bothered me. But she got a hat trick this year. She got Devil Wears Prada 2, Odyssey, and this movie. I haven't seen Anne Hathaway in the movie since Dark Knight Rises, and I don't watch her movies like that. But anyways, a C for this movie. Ewan McGregor could have been treated better in this movie. He really could have. And people talk about, oh, possibly a sequel. No sequel for you.
No sequel for you.
I don't know what movie they was watching, but I guess everything's good these days. Nothing's bad, and if you call something bad, you're a hater. Anyways, it's alright to like bad movies, but don't tell me that's a good movie. But anyways, it is what it is.